The clip that you're about to listen to is from the latest Imp Tab Unpolished episode that we just released today over on our Patreon. If you like what you hear and you decide you want more, all of our patrons, starting even at the lowest tier, get access to the full episode in audio and video format, as well as our entire backlog of bonus episodes that we've recorded up to this point. You can head on over to patreon.com/improvtabletop to learn more and see all the different rewards available there. Now, on with the show. I am afraid that at the moment I am currently in the process of executing my father's last will and testament, making sure that his property and estate are all taken care of. I always knew that only bad would come to him every time he went to visit, and she, stops and turns dramatically and points off in the distance, and, violins start to screech as she goes, ever since he started visiting the old haunted prison up on the hilltop.
Let me go ahead and add this to our quest.
Old haunted prison, hilltop.
Prison. Okay, we're visiting it.
Can you add to get our own mini orchestra?
Have a traveling quartet.
I think once you reach a certain level, ambiance music just starts happening around you.
Yeah, true.
We know we've made it.
Yeah, you get it early if you have a bard in your party.
As she's talking, I'm just going to distractedly hold up my shield to stop Chotek from killing her.
Okay, yes, I've been slowly sneaking up on this woman from.
Yeah, I know. I clocked it out of the corner of my eye. I stopped the strike, and I'm like, Chotek, hi. This is a friend.
All right, I'm gonna get right up in her face and smell her, and then be like, "Oh! I reach into my little bag and I have one of her dad's pendants, and I smell her and the pendant. Oh! It's one of those! Hello!
And she is looking at you kind of curiously and says, "Tell me, friend, what brings you so far away from the jungle lands to the south?"
I am worthless and I need to be good at things. So my dreams told me to come north. Quiet, old woman, I am worthless. But I won't stay that way.
Quiet, old woman.
Don't mind him, dearie. He's a little misguided.
Ah! I see you have more cats, and I jump. Your beasts are multiplicative.
So they have. Oh, don't mind them. This one's Dinah. Here, hold her. Make you feel comfortable.
Okay.
Chotek, please don't eat it.
No.
I mean, darling, you could eat it. It's probably not the best tasting thing. There are definitely other things you could eat.
I put it down.
And Kendra turns to you, Chotek, and says, "Well, if it is proving yourself that you are interested in, I have an opportunity for all of you to help me figure out what really happened to my father."
Yes, that!
That would be fascinating. Do you know of the Huar clan? Would it happen to have anything to do with that?
The Huar clan? Let me check my memory banks really quick. The only thing I know about them is that they were said to have disappeared eons ago. Nobody has heard from them in many, many generations, but they were always up to some sort of unsavory business, I believe.
We had an encounter with them. It ended quite well for us.
Oh.
But yes. Well,
The meat with the wolf on its chest, yes?
Yes, that's the one, Chotek.
And when you say a wolf symbol, her eyes, she kind of gets serious and says, "Yes, indeed. I believe that there may be some connection between what you've experienced and what I have been experiencing."
Go on.
Go on.
I throw a log on the fire.
I went to visit, and turns dramatically, the old abandoned haunted prison on top of the hill.
Oh, old abandoned hunt. Okay.
Quest marker.
Abandoned hunt. Abandoned. A new adjective every time she describes
Giving the
it.
play that goes wrong.
Yes,
It is. Oh my gosh.
They're filming it. Did you see?
I did
I
not.
did. I'm very excited.
Unpolished,
Have
no
y'all
tangent.
watched the TV show version, though, of the Goes Wrong show?
Oh, so good.
So good.
Amazing.
Very
Anyway,
good.
it's giving that.
Yes. Yes, following my father's death, I went to do some investigation of my own, and I saw strange things carved into the foundation rocks of the building, and amongst those carvings, amongst those runic markings, was the mark of a wolf.
Oh, did it look, before we get too far, I want to make sure you have this, and I'll grab the chest, and I'm going to pull out the scrolls for Montagny and the journal for Imbrith and say, these were noted to be given to someone else, but the rest of the stuff is in here. And I'm going to take out one piece of paper and just in the corner, I'm going to draw the symbol we saw. Did it look exactly like this?
It looked exactly like that.
I'm going to look at the camera and my jaw's going to drop, and then I'll go back.
And
Whoa.
she looks at the scrolls and the book that you pulled out. The 3 scrolls to be delivered to Montagny Crowell. Yes, an associate of my father's up in Lepidstadt, as is Embrith Deramid. This book. This is a very fancy book. The lock is broken. How did that happen?
Well, you know, things happen.
Werewolf man.
You,
Werewolf man.
There was a werewolf man.
yeah,
you know.
Frere, you kind of absentmindedly start rubbing the bump on the top of your head.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, if we could have these delivered to Lepidstadt. In fact, if you could help with that, like I said, I am busy executing my father's will and estate. Was there anything else that happened to be in his possessions?
You know, I don't think so. Well, I mean, there were these vials with the little skull on top.
Oh, haunt siphons.
Oh.
Not a
what-
word any of us know.
Do tell.
I'm going to put that in our notes, but I'm also going to figure out what that is.
Yes, my father, being a studier of the occult, he didn't let many people know about that. There are many people in town who do not have the highest opinion of my father because of his line of studies, but he ran into some very spooky and unsettling things on occasion, and crafted a number of these haunt siphons to be able to siphon off the negative occult energy of these altered events that might happen. I think you should hang on to these. They will be very
Yeah.
valuable for you.
Yeah, let's hold those. Like they help us kill undead things.
They can, yes.
Oh, they can.
That's so cool.
You spoke Frere's favorite words. His favorite words?
He loves that combination of words.
That combination of words. I want to hear more about the rundown, abandoned, haunted mansion.
Run down.
Abandoned.
I think it was a prison, not a mansion.
Yes,
Run
the
prison.
down.
Prison.
Old
Forgot.
abandoned haunted mansion.
How long has it been out of service? What happened to the prisoners? Did they all die?
Well, this is the part where you all are going to spout lore for me. We're going to do a bit of a modified version of spout lore. Typically, when you spout lore, you roll plus intelligence, and then depending on how well you roll, I will tell you something that is interesting and possibly also useful to the pertinent situation. This time around, instead, you're going to tell me something that you know about the village of Ravengrow, and depending on how well you roll, if you roll a partial success, it will be true, but there's going to be some kind of unfortunate complication that I will bring upon you. If you get a full success, it will be true, and there'll be an extra special benefit for you. And if it's false, then yes, it's true, but not quite in the way that you expected, and it makes things bad for you.
Cool.
So, let's go around. Let's start with Chotek, why not? What's something
Okay.
that you have heard about the village of Ravengrow?
I hear there are no birds, which does not make sense to me. Unless there are birds. I now roll for lore.
All right.
I've heard there's no birds, but there's a lot of them.
I got a 9, which I think is partial.
Yes, that is a partial success. So, it is true that there are no birds here in this town, and many of the locals have also noticed that there used to be birds here. Why are there no birds here anymore? And everybody's real freaked out about this curse that presumably has descended upon the city in the time since the old, run-down, abandoned, haunted, burned prison.
Prison. Burn. Visit
Add
the
more
rundown,
adjectives.
old, abandoned, haunted, burned prison.
Yes.
Okay, I've added that to our list of things to do.
Yes. And so, as such, there's been kind of like two factions that have split off amongst the citizenry of Ravengrow. Those who believe that if a bird is ever seen, it will be a good omen, and those who believe that if a bird is ever seen, it will be a very bad omen.
Nifty. Okay.
All right. Let's go over to Freyr. What's something you've heard about Ravengrow and or the prison up on the hill?
So this is about both of them. Back when there were a lot of birds, one of the reasons there were a lot of ravens, Ravengrow, in the area was because this is a central place where they bury a lot of people. There's a lot of people who died in the prison. They all got buried. There's a lot of people who die in the town and in the surrounding area. They all get buried. Everyone gets buried in Ravengrow. And so there is a very large cemetery sort of between the town and the prison.
Exactly.
Let me see how true that is.
Yes, go ahead and make your roll.
Unmodified?
Yeah, this will be with intelligence, which I believe is a
well,
-1 for you.
I would say it might be a -1, but I still did pretty good.
Okay.
It is a -1, which makes it a 10.
Nice. Full success. In fact, I
go.
believe the only person in this party who doesn't have -1 intelligence is Chotek.
That's
it's
right,
a
I am
+0?
wise.
I think Chotek has a +1 intelligence last time I
Plus one,
checked.
Yeah,
plus one.
I do.
All right, so
Amazing.
full success. Yes, so the boneyard that exists in between Ravengrow and the cemetery, in fact, that's where you will be going to assist with the burial of Petros Lorimor. But you know, in addition to that, because there are so many people being buried in Ravengrow, there are two separate cemeteries. There's the cemetery between the town and the prison, but up on top of Harrowstone Hill, in the Harrowstone prison grounds, there is their own dedicated cemetery specifically for criminals. Very bad criminals who were bad enough that they had to be brought from all around the Serpent Sea to this one prison. Potentially unquiet prisoners? ?
Oh.
boy.
Harrowstone.
Yes.
Cool.
Harrowstone Prison.
And Harrowstone Hill, you said?
Yes.
All right. I'm spelling these however I want.
Yes. But then, because you rolled so well, there's a way in which this is going to be beneficial for you. Yes, with, like, as you're kind of talking with Kendra about this situation here, she says, I'm trying to remember, you had some rune stones the last time I met you, did you not?
Yeah, some the rune bones, yeah, from your dad.
Yes, one of the things that he left in his will for me to pass on to you was this. And she pulls out a skull. The top has been removed, turning it into a bowl of sorts. To cast
Yummy.
your runes into this skull is to call upon a stronger divinatory power. But it is a little bit cursed, so be careful about how much you use it.
Okay. my eyes get huge, and I'm just like, gonna pack that away in the bag for now.
Yes,
I
so
think it would be very useful.
So, when you cast your runes into this skull, once per day you can mimic the effects of the divination wizard spell.
Wicked. Okay, and then there's some drawback that'll happen when I do that for the first time.
Yes, depending on how well you roll, weird stuff might happen.
Gotcha. So what is the load for the haunt siphons and the skull bowl?
These are light enough that they're not going to cost you any load.
A 0 load. Love to see it.
All right, so that's Chotek and Freyr. Halohi, you got something?
I do. Halohi recalls an old legend near Ravensgrow, somewhere in the vicinity of this city, or the old, rundown, abandoned, haunted, burned prison. It's some sort of artifact that calls back to the proto days of Milgar. An artifact that would recall back to the times previous to the calamity that led to this world's formation.
Indeed, go ahead and roll for that.
Is it just 2 or 3?
2 for you.
That's a 9.
9, partial success. So this is true. And other people have heard of this prophecy as well. There have been a number of people foolhardy enough to try and break into the prison to try and find this thing. Maybe you start putting some pieces together. You look at the sketch of the symbol of the Huar clan that Freyr jotted down on the corner of that sheet of paper. Ooh, is that why these guys were here? Ooh, okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I keep going? This is so fun. I don't know what to...
Yeah, so we know that there is some kind of special primal artifact that has been here somewhere in the town, maybe somewhere in the prison itself even, and it seems that perhaps your friends in the Huar clan came here looking for that, is what you begin to deduce.
Okay.
And Rahanle, what's something that you have heard about this town?
Well, I once heard there was a powerful warlock with a affinity for the undead, who was once executed here in this prison, and upon his death cursed the land. So sometimes when the moon is darkened, you can sometimes hear the screams of old prisoners being tortured.
All right, go ahead and give us that roll.
Ooh, 4.
4. All right.
Someone had to roll that, y'all.
Yes, so
That'll be me.
and
You're just making stuff up now.
Oh Lord, she lying.
no, so
We're just telling ghost stories around the campfire. That's what we were doing.
We're just having
right.
fun.
No, so Kendra says, "Oh yes, I have heard that story as well," and then looks up at the sky, and you all look up and see it's going to be a new moon tomorrow night.
Oh no.
Well, I don't like your story.
Too bad it's true.